Good evening, sir. I wanted to ask about the meta-narratives. If on political aspect, one might have a meta-narrative, but on other aspects, isn't it egoistic and inimical to self-realization? I mean, suppose, I'll give you an example, a meta-narrative like, in a very micro level, we are having North Indians against Northeast Indians. So doesn't narrative create more intolerance rather than...
No, let me answer that. So the question is, are meta-narratives conflict-ridden and ego-based and antithetical to progress in our in the dharmic, in our self-realization? Okay, this is a very common question. This is a wonderful question, especially coming from a young person. You see, the theories that we have imported from the West, including postmodernism theory, talk like that. This is what you're mentioning is postmodernist theory, that you have to defeat all the grand narratives because the grand narratives are causing conflict and excluding people. This theory that we have brought into our universities originated in Europe, where that was true. That was true. Because you have to understand the difference between religion and dharma, to understand the difference between exclusivity and open architecture. I've introduced a term in this book called open architecture, where I'm saying that this open architecture is in flux, it's evolving, it is open to all. People can come, except those who want to undermine the open architecture, and want to close it with exclusivity. All others are out. You can have your Ishta Devta, I have my Ishta Devta. There's nothing wrong if you have Jesus as your Ishta Devta, it doesn't bother me. I mean, you can have your village deity. So, but you cannot have the exclusivity saying that your deity must then supersede and we have to throw out our deities. That's the only thing not allowed. So I have a very open idea of this thing I call open architecture, which follows naturally from the idea of Indra's net. Grand narrative has been attacked by Westerners because in the Western context it had these problems. In India, the dharma is an open architecture. There is no exclusivity of anybody's Ishta Devta. There is no finality of truth. There is no limit on how many avatars and how many enlightened beings can come and give us new knowledge. So it is open in that sense. Yeah. A narrative of open architecture, by definition, would not have those problems that you are referring to. Yeah. So now, if you talk about problems with problems of a practical kind, there are practical problems. Those are problems you have to deal with in the sense that if you have a wonderful open architecture and somebody wants to come and invade it, should you allow that? Should an open architecture allow invasion by a closed architecture? And I would say no. Okay, it's open to the extent that others respect the openness, yeah, but not to the extent that you respect even those that undermine you. A similar question would be, does dharma protect adharma? It's a very interesting question. It's a very logical trick. Does dharma protect adharma? If you were to say dharma protects everything, therefore it should protect adharma, right? If it protects adharma, therefore it is protecting what is going to undermine itself. So it is a self-contradiction. Dharma is a self-contradiction because dharma also accepts that which contradicts itself. So it is not viable. And the answer to this is given by Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, that you have to fight the adharma. Dharma is not open unconditionally to the extent of allowing adharma also, because then it will self-destruct. It won't be viable. There is a necessity to protect dharma, so it must be very open except for those forces that are going to undermine and defeat the dharma itself. That is necessary. So the grand narrative of India, based on principles of dharma, like unity and diversity, like open architecture, and I just came up to use the term Indra's net because it's a Vedic term, Indrajal. This kind of grounding of this philosophical grounding of a grand narrative, as long as we keep understanding it and referring to it and make sure we don't violate it, will not fall prey to the kind of problems that you mentioned. But it's a very nice question. Glad you asked. Thank you.